Hey guys, I want to share with you. This is the first of the two articles, peer review articles, you're going to be reading this week on All Quiet on the Western Front. And you'll notice this is titled Voices of a Lost Generation Gap Between Promise and Fulfillment. And All Quiet on the Western Front, it gives it in the original German title. I told you earlier these are done in scholarly journals and they're done by people who have studied this and know a lot more about the book than in many cases of these type of authors than I do, and this is one of them. This is a research scholar from India. This one was done for a publication in India, a scholarly journal. And you'll notice in particular as you're reading the translation to English at times you'll get some odd wording as you're reading it, and that's why you might encounter that. All journals are going to have the same thing though. They're all going to start with what's called an abstract, and your abstract is a summary of your article. It usually is about 100 to 150 words long, and it's going to be your overview of the entire article. This is what it's going to be about. It's usually written on a lower level than the article itself. So reading the abstract first will help you understand what's going on in the rest of the article. At the end of the article, you'll notice there's an area and they call it keywords. And this is how you can search and find articles online if you're looking up certain topics or ideas. And so this one's talking about First World War, trauma, agony, death, lost generations. So that is going to be the main essence of what the article is going to be about. So reading the abstract and looking at the keywords are going to give you two clues on what you're going to read about before you actually even start into the paper. So please don't skip over them. I'm telling you as a research scholar myself in education that many articles I have simply read the abstract and I know right away that this is not one that's going to help me with my research, or the abstract will give me ideas or thoughts I hadn't had before or connect to my research, and then I'll continue reading the article. So your abstract is an awesome way to get an overall understanding of the article. So please don't skip over it and head right in. It's going to help you understand the rest of the article. Now, this is a type of literature analysis as well, and he's taking it from the perspective of a lot of you of this idea of loss of innocence, the camaraderie, the total waste of a war on a generation, how it's left a group of men who have no idea who they are or what they are meant to do in life. And he starts his out a little different than we do ours. He gives it just a brief overview of Remarque and his other writings. And then he does, as I've instructed you, gives a summary, a brief summary of the book itself, All Quiet on the Western Front, so you know going into it what is actually happening. And the first thing he focuses on is this idea of the universal appeal of the book, that you don't have to have been a German soldier in World War I or a French soldier or ever even have been in a war to appreciate what the ideas and concepts that are in the novel, that what is in the novel is actually larger than the idea of war itself. It gets to the very essence of who we are as people. And then he focuses on this idea of the situations that Paul and some of his comrades find themselves in throughout the war, and the idea of those in authority over those weaker than them and the power that they can hold. And then finally, he goes into the disillusionment of Paul, how the power structure of the war itself and the feelings he experiences cuts him off from the rest of society. So he feels as though he can't go back to what he knew if he even knew anything at all. And that's how he finishes this paper. And then, obviously heading back into being that international concept of all of this information. So, and then it goes into the conclusion, which you have at the end. And again, your conclusion is like the conclusions you write, just a summary of what was read. And you can see here his works cited page. This is done in Chicago format, not MLA. Most history works are going to be Chicago/Turabian. So just know that, yes, this is a proper citation method. It's just not what you guys are going to be using. You're going to be doing yours in MLA for right now. We'll study Turabian later on. So hopefully that helps you with the article. With a little better of an understanding on what's happening. If you read it and still have questions or need help deciphering what he's talking about, please don't hesitate to let me know.